What's up guys, IDK Player here coming with another NASCAR Heat 4 video, and today we are going to do a full game review of NASCAR Heat 4. This review will be separated by the pros and cons, and I will follow up with how good the game is. Also, take note that some topics are subject to change throughout the game's life cycle. So let's start with the cons, since there actually isn't a lot of them. The first con we are going to talk about is the glitches. Now, I know every game isn't perfect, but NH4 still has its fair share of glitches like the Martinsville logo or the double yellow line glitch at Daytona. And despite NH4 having less glitches than NH3, it still has some in the game. Next on the list, we have font sizes for custom car customization. From my understanding, most players in the community think the font size for a font is a little too small, and yes, it's not a big deal, but it is a complaint I have seen from people in the community. Next, we have tire pressure adjustments. When trying to adjust your pit setup, it seems to take a little too long to adjust the tire pressures in NASCAR Heat 4, and sometimes you have to make multiple stops just to get your full pit adjustment in. If the adjuster was just a bit faster, it would be fine, but as recording this video, it's a little too slow. Next, we have the lack of multiplayer qualifying and practice. This isn't in Heat 4, but hopefully it will be in future installments. NASCAR Heat 4 also doesn't have caution replays or a test session. Next, we have a lackluster spectator camera. Now, don't get me wrong, the spectator camera has improved as you can see on your screen, but it still doesn't tell you how many laps are left in the race and who is leading, which could cause some confusion for people broadcasting league races. And finally, the last con I could find is that you cannot make your own custom schedule for championship mode. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the preset schedules and they are really cool, but creating your own schedule is still a really cool feature. Now, onto the pros. NASCAR Heat 4 has added a lot of small details. For example, if you cut the roll you have to do a stop and go, and the grandstands at some tracks are not sold out. NASCAR Heat 4 also has small details like the weight shift on the car when braking and hitting the gas. There are more small details in the game, but just to clarify, small details mean just as much as the big details, and it's great to see in a NASCAR game. Next on the list is the AI. In NASCAR Heat 4, the AI have seriously improved from Heat 3. Their IQ this year have definitely went up, and in settings you can adjust the tire wear for the AI and how easy the AI are able to save their vehicle. Also, it's easier to spin the AI out this year, which is super cool and more realistic than how it was in Heat 3. Next on the list for pros, we have the huge physics improvements. This year, the physics have been vastly improved and was one of the main focal points to making NASCAR Heat 4. The multi-group racing has made the outside lane the preferred lane at tracks like Kansas, and the tire fall off has given the player the option to run strategy when using the slider depending on how long the races are. For example, when racing Homestead, a preset 6 might be good for a 2% race, but if you are going to do a 7% race, a preset 5 might be the right move. Also, the lack of ping pong has made plate racing extremely fun, and at the mile-and-a-half tracks, once the tires start to wear, you have to change your racing line to stay competitive. I'm just scratching the surface on how much the physics have been improved for NASCAR Heat 4, but to sum it all up, it has vastly improved the gameplay aspect and is a big contributor to making NASCAR Heat 4 a good game. The next pro on the list is the graphics. The graphics this year make NASCAR Heat 3 look like a pre-alpha build. The lighting reflecting off the car, the cracks in the track, and just the amount of detail put into the game just makes NASCAR Heat 4 extremely playable. Another big contributor to the game are the small features. NASCAR Heat 4 has added a track map so you can see where the other drivers are on the track, and you can pause the timer. This will save a lot of players from getting headaches. There are a bunch of other small features, but once again, I am just scratching the surface of every topic. Next, we are going to talk about the realistic feel to the game. When playing NASCAR Heat 4, it gives off a realistic feel while at the same time still feeling a little bit like an arcade game. This makes the game fun because it doesn't feel like a sim, but at the same time, it doesn't feel 100% like an arcade game. There's a little gray area in between, and it looks like 704 has hit that mark perfectly. Next, we have new features like day into night transitions, which happen when you race with stages enabled, legend drivers like Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon getting reintroduced back into NASCAR games, and racing any series at any track, which lets you race Cup, Xfinity, and Truck Series vehicles at tracks those series don't mainly go to. This is big for a game like NASCAR Heat 4 and big for the league racing side of things. It brings new tracks to certain series that those certain series don't usually race at, and it is really fun, including in multiplayer. Also, career mode has a load of new features that heavily improved that side of the game, and you can now unlock paint schemes when you complete challenges in NASCAR Heat 4, which is great because it makes the players work towards a certain goal they want to achieve. Now, I can go on all day about the pros to NASCAR Heat 4 since there are so many, and once again, we only scratched the surface, but the big question is NASCAR Heat 4 a good game, and should you buy NASCAR Heat 4? The answer to both those questions are yes. NASCAR Heat 4 is a really good game and can't be compared to the previous NASCAR Heat games. NASCAR Heat 4 has the best engine sounds in any NASCAR game, and judging by what I'm hearing from the community, NASCAR Heat 4 is being compared to NASCAR 09 in some cases, not all. NASCAR Heat 4 is definitely a top 10 NASCAR game, and it's the NASCAR game you have been waiting for years to be made. Before I wrap this video up, quick shout out to 704 Games and Monster Games for putting together a great piece of work. This game is not just getting positive reviews by me, but by other members in the NASCAR gaming community, and everyone that contributed to making this game a success that works at 704 Games and Monster Games should be proud of themselves. So that will do it for today's video, guys. Thank you guys all for watching. If you're new, please smack that sub button. We are less than 50 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like and comment down below your opinions on NASCAR Heat 4. Quick shout out to my donators. Shout out to NASCAR Champion 2016 and Master Saucy _YT. Links to their channels will be in the description below. So I'll see you guys in my next NASCAR Heat 4 video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. IDK out. And I got this soda, Remy boys that